Hello. Today we're going to talk about Enneagram 8 and MBTI with an emphasis on ENFJ as ENTJ. So my question for you today is, can ENFJs become ENTJs? Nope. I believe every MBTI is its very own, but the Enneagram can have great impact on how an MBTI type appears. And if you slap Enneagram 8, which has been affectionately called the asserter, the leader, the boss, and you put it on top of an ENFJ, this ENFJ can appear at times to be an ENTJ who has a naturally more straightforward, assertive approach to life. Let's face it, ENFJs have been called the chameleons of MBTI, and that is with or without being Enneagram 4. Fours, who are called the individualist or the artist, can also change appearances and look how they want to look and portray whatever mood they're feeling. Fours can be self-expressive. Like chameleons, ENFJs can blend in and slither into the skin of others to understand them and interact with them better. They can become them. ENFJs can be whoever they want to be. That's why they act different depending on who they're with. Enneagram 8 is quite the opposite and may serve as a stabilizer to the ever-changing and people situation adaptable ENFJ because Enneagram 8s are likely to claim they're the same no matter who they're interacting with. The same straightforward, say it like it is, no holds bar, honest way. Where a healthy Enneagram 8 blends well with an ENFJ is that they too can be big-hearted, compassionate people who can yield to their strong-willed nature to become selfless when serving the greater good. Still holding firm to their vitality, they can put their own self-interests aside. They can be naturally forceful and act with genuine strength, but use self-restraint. Healthy 8s are problem solvers, alleviating the burdens of others. They use their take-charge nature to achieve something great. They use their straightforwardness to unleash the truth. They're protectors and defenders and unafraid to speak their minds in spite of differing opinions. Most 8s have a fear of being controlled by others. They want to make their own way in life. They're assertive, believe in their ability to overcome obstacles, and are self-confident. They exude self-confidence and have the willpower to resist pressure. When others crumble with adversity, they come back stronger. Like ENFJs, they use their intuition to get to the root of a person and pride themselves on their ability to tell if someone is lying. They're assertive and independent and pride themselves on not being timid and weak people. Let's zoom in on a portion of the ENTJ's character. So there's a part of them that could be impatient with people who make mistakes, and they'll also respect you if you stand up to them. Sounds like Enneagram 8, doesn't it? It's not hard to know who's in charge when an ENTJ is around. An ENFJ is going to know everything about everyone, and they have a way of interrogating people in a somewhat gentle way, but it's driven by a strong curiosity to figure someone out to their core. And in a similar way, the Enneagram 8 can be an interrogator, but their aim is to get at the truth. So is an ENFJ Enneagram 8 really an ENTJ? I think that would be worth examining to make sure that there's not a mistyping there, because that's such a rare combination. However, I think in some ways Enneagram 8 is in direct opposition to an ENFJ's approach in life. An ENFJ is loyal, verbal, energetic, and congenial, whereas an ENTJ is logical, strategic, fair, and straightforward. Extroverted thinking and extroverted feeling have a lot in common. They're both extroverted judging functions, and they are naturally goal-oriented and closure-seeking. ENTJs and ENFJs have these functions in the dominant position and are often seen as powerhouses with big dynamic personalities. ENFJs draw people in and they hate cold logic, whereas ENTJs are obsessed with self development and reality, and they're often open about receiving criticisms. But even though they take criticism as a way to make improvements because they want to make improvement on themselves, they can be confrontational and argumentative to determine whether a person has given a fair assessment of them. Or they may take that criticism and address how they can become better. ENFJs, on the other hand, might be the poorest at receiving criticism. ENFJs want to shield people from anything they deem as harsh, whereas ENTJs are going to concentrate on truth. So let's say someone is an ENFJ and they're also Enneagram 8. My guess is that there's going to be a lot of internal conflict because the two types contradict each other. And ENFJ wants harmony above anything else. So they're almost going to walk on eggshells at times to get that, especially in the work world or in a broader family spectrum. Now, you might see an ENFJ be more confrontational in their private lives with closer family members or relatives, but other than that, they're going to want harmony to get along with people. Whereas Enneagram 8 is not going to have a problem being confrontational, harsh, direct, ruffling feathers. In fact, Enneagram 8s like a good fight because they believe that the truth comes out in a fight, whereas most people are intimidated by open anger. And ENFJ is going to be completely undone by a fight or an argument with someone. But 8s can be energized from that and even gain respect for someone when they've had an argument. 8s want predictability and control of their lives, but they quickly become irritable and bored without the challenge of a position to defend. I think the combination of the two can make a very confident ENFJ. I think this person could have the pressures of conforming versus not conforming, and at times can take a stance without wavering. I think this person can use their skills of understanding people as an ENFJ to kind of know when to bend and when not to bend. They can use this as a source of strength because they understand people so well. They can use it to their advantage when they're working with headstrong, straightforward people. But when they are dealing with people who need a little bit more emotional support and a little bit of understanding, they can delve into their ENFJ side and use that to gain trust with the people that they're working with. I think ENFJs are very skilled at internal reflection. And so if there's something in their personality that is troublesome or bothersome to them, like if they've been accused of being too blunt or being too harsh, they can take that and examine it and look at the context and do some self-reflection on how this can be changed, how it can be adapted, or should they stick with that character and do the same? By the same token, this could be a point of internal conflict because whereas an 8 might make these types of moves or stances and not question it because they don't generally internalize or go inward to self-examine in the same way that an ENFJ would, this could really be a point of torture for an ENFJ who feels the need to be strong, not appear weak, but then that flies in the face of being understanding and compassionate sometimes. So I think both of these entities almost could be used separately at times and use one when it's convenient, when they need to take charge, when they need to be a boss, be a leader. That can be a huge advantage because too much taking in what everyone thinks or everyone's opinions can really get in the way of standing firm and being unwavering. But then if you're dealing with someone who doesn't handle harshness very well, we'll deal with them on their level. Come down a few steps. If that means that you can be more effective in getting what you want out of that person so that they can be better, more successful, happier, do a better job. Use your ENFJ to build confidence and build people up. So I think bluntness is one of those things that can be tailored. One of the things that I learned when I was training to be a counselor, I remember calling a girl a perfectionist, and she got very upset. And the professor who was observing me said, sometimes you have to reword things or you have to change things around. You can say the same thing, but say it in a different way so that the person is receptive. So you might have to work on your delivery in some cases. But then that ENFJ kind of has a way of not knowing who they are at times, going through periods of questioning the self, who am I? And that's an unsettling feeling, especially for the asserter or the eight. So I think you have to accept the fact that sometimes those two personality types are going to come in conflict. And at other times, it's going to be your greatest strength. It's going to be something that can really, really help you in life in a way that most ENFJs don't have the advantage of, but sometimes they feel like they need more of that assertive nature. So I think it's a blessing. We all have to make readjustments at times, take into consideration your audience, and go from there. If you enjoyed exploring these 3 types with me and you'd like to see more videos like this, then show me with a thumbs up button. Also, remember to hit subscribe as I increase the types of videos that you like. Thanks for watching Tam's Psych Advice. I'm Tamara. Goodbye.